All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to your moon reading for the full moon in Libra. Libra is our beauty sign. They care about the beauty in the world. They care about the beautiful qualities in other people. They are collaborators, communicators. They are always concerned about the well-being of the group and will 9 times out of 10 put others before them before taking care of themselves. They derive joy from seeing the collective happy. I have a very soft spot for Libras and also have a lot of Libra in my chart. Feel free to comment below if you know any Libras that might resonate with this reading, or you have any Libra in your chart, and see how this full moon feels for you. This full moon is occurring on Sunday, March 29th in the Northern Hemisphere, and then that would be Monday, March 30th for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere who are further ahead in time. As always, I'm going to do a 4-card reading. If you are new to these readings, welcome. I do a primary energy reading up top, general energy for the collective and for the full moon or the energy of this lunar phase. Shadow energy down below, the energy that needs to be illuminated and brought to light for you to really be able to embody and thrive through this full moon. Perhaps it's something that you might need to bring into the light to be able to face so that you can move through it. And then I'll do our pathway read, which is the energy on top, our block, the energy that's keeping us stuck, that's maybe a situation or a dialogue or a feeling that's keeping you stuck in your current situation that you want to have more movement in, and our path, which is the energy that we can embody and that we can bring into this lunar phase in order to give us that expansion that we're looking for and give us that space. If you are part of the Healing Matrix on Facebook, the Indigo Instinct Healing Matrix, these are readings that are posted in advance before the full moon and the new moon. Thank you so much for being a part of this family. And if you're on YouTube or Instagram, thank you for tuning in. Please leave a comment below if you find these helpful, if they resonate, or if you have any reflections on this particular new moon, full moon. It feels very much like a new moon to me, usually because I find full moons quite intense and they're quite challenging for me, but maybe because I have Libra in my chart, this full moon is feeling particularly nice. So I think my brain wants to say new because new moon in my brain means ease. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Let me pull that in a moment. So, primary energy for the collective. Let's see if we can get this autofocus today. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we are entering a new cycle. You are entering a new cycle. Whether you have been working at something for a long time or you're in a relationship that just hasn't been moving the way that you want it to, or you're really hoping for this conversation to happen, or whatever it is, now is the time that you are ready. You're ready for the transformation. You're ready for the shift. You're ready for things to change. And most importantly, you have gone through the preparation and the courageousness that takes to get to this point of transformation. And you are now ready to shed your former skin and to really embody this new phase of yourself. This is a lot of excitement. There's a lot of joy. There's not even that much sort of walk through the door should you choose to, because the energy that's coming up for me is that you have been trying to access this door for a very long time, and it is finally presenting itself to you, and you are going to be more than ready to walk through it, and you're going to be more than willing. So a bit of rejoice, a bit of relief if you've been really waiting for some sort of change. But again, asking life to, or sort of not asking life, but giving gratitude to life and being in that acceptance position, saying yes to life, even waking up in the morning and just saying, yes, I accept these blessings that are coming to me. Yes, I accept these changes. Yes, I accept. Just letting the universe know that you are a sacred yes right now is going to make this next phase of transformation be all the more enjoyable in the process. Interesting shadow today. Fire Guardian. There is sort of a dual reading in this one that's coming through, but the theme that's coming through the most strongly for me is something that feels like it's starting over, sort of a picking yourself back up off the ground type of scenario. And this is really heightened by the fact that it's going to involve a situation where you really care about this deeply. The Fire Guardian is all about igniting your passion and embodying and living what you really are lit up by and what makes you want to get out of bed in the morning and what makes you want to live your life day to day. And there's this sort of, it's in the shadow aspect, right? So there's this sort of moment of, wow, I tried to do something that I really cared about and I got knocked down and I did not make it. I did not make the three-pointer basketball shot. I did not score the winning goal. I missed the net. It totally didn't work out for me and I landed on the ground for a little bit. And this sort of call by pulling the Fire Guardian is asking us to revisit what we really care about and sort of entertain the idea of going back again, going back into what we care about, going back into the thing that we tried and we failed at, and, really fostering and practicing our resiliency, because we're not just resilient. We don't just buy a resiliency spray and spray it on us and then we're great and we're waterproof to life's emotions. We have to practice resiliency and go back in even though we failed. And this Fire Guardian is really coming through as this sort of, you were out in the freezing rain and it really sucked, but you're now at home and there's a wood fire burning. And it's encouraging you to dry your clothes and think about going back out there and trying it again. And then for our pathway, yeah, okay, this doesn't really surprise me, especially for the collective right now. We got the drum, which is a pretty sacred card. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. But we got it in reverse. And, if you look at the symbols, just ignore the wording for a second and just look at the symbols and sort of see this in an upside down kind of way. There's this sense of being pulled in many different directions. The drum card is really about going into your inner self and going into a bit of trance journeying and really connecting with your center and listening to your divine messages. And when we get the drum in reverse as our block card, it's very much, are you listening to too many things on the outside of you? Are you listening to a friend that you admire and a parent that you care about and a person that you really want to be like? And all of your intention and your really sacred, dragon egg of an idea is getting cracked because you're starting to listen to too many things on the outside. The general read for this card that came through for me immediately was an overwhelm of information. This is such a beautiful card, and there's so much detail there in the bottom. Oops, I lost the focus. There we go. There's so much detail, and there's so much sort of understanding that can be seen through the drum and through the wheel and all of the symbolism. But if you get caught up in the busyness of it all, you're totally going to get lost, because we are shifting as a collective right now, and we have gone through so many stages of breaking, which means that all of those broken pieces are also going to start to facilitate buds and facilitate new growth. And if you try and harvest all of that at the same time, it's going to be really overwhelming, and things are going to wither and die. So rein it in, be aware. You don't have to focus on where you need to fix or where you need to cut off, but just be aware of, am I taking on too much? Am I trying to spread my brain and be too many things at once? Allow yourself to know that the simplest version of you is enough. And even if you focus on changing one habit or doing one new thing at a time, even if it feels really slow, that is enough, and it will really concentrate your momentum as you move forwards, because it'll be less confusing. And for our path here, our way forwards. Yeah, okay, this is going to be a soft spot for some of you. Again, this comes into a practice, and the Heart Guardian is really about allowing yourself to be held. Where is that inner child right now? Are they convinced that if they work really hard, they're going to be liked? Or if they just keep going without ever stopping or showing weakness, they're going to be more loved? The Heart Guardian is really about, where can I actually allow myself to fall into the arms of somebody? Fall into the arms of a friend, fall into the arms of a loved one, fall into the arms of a partner, and actually allow yourself to be held for a moment. Opening your mind and really focusing on the connection of the heart, and allowing yourself to be receptive. We talk about how important love is, but we don't always focus on being open and receptive to it, because we have been hurt in the past, and we do get really used to being protective and being soldiers in a way. And, this card also calls to our inner child a little bit, of asking us to check in with them and see where they're maybe a little bit afraid of being vulnerable, or they're a little bit over being vulnerable. We're in Aries season right now, and Aries is very, yes, I'm going to go for this, or no, I don't want to, or you hurt me, or I don't like that. It's very sort of primal in the way that its response is, and it's big in that aspect. And there's really an inner child component to this pathway of the Heart Guardian, and of checking in with that sort of visceral you that has a one-word answer or a one-word feeling, and seeing if you can play with that a little bit and see if you can sort of get a giggle or get a little bit of trust, and work with connecting with your heart consistently. Even if it's just a practice of listening to a heart meditation. I've got one on YouTube if you want to check it out. But just listening to a heart meditation every day or once a week. And even if you go in with the idea of, this isn't going to work for me, I don't really believe in this, but just allowing yourself to take practice, take place in that practice, and allow sort of these channels of the heart to begin to feed you the information that you need, because we're really good at being defensive, and we're really good about continuing on, even though inside we're really hurt and we're feeling really squishy and we're feeling like it'd be really nice to be held, but we're too busy just keeping on, and that is really damaging to us in the long run. So ask yourself in this full moon, where can I allow myself to be vulnerable? Even if it's just vulnerability with yourself, allowing yourself to feel comfortable or to take rest or to, watch a sad movie by yourself and bawl your eyes out without shame. Where can you bring that sort of soft heart truth into your day to day? So that is all I have for you today. As always, if you want to book a private reading with me, I always leave links below in the description box. And if you're in the Indigo Instinct Healing Matrix in Facebook, just drop a comment or personal message me. And I really hope that this full moon resonates with you all and you really feel some beautiful shifting. I have a feeling that things are going to be a little bit more clear in the coming weeks, and no planets are in retrograde right now, so enjoy that and, enjoy it without putting pressure on yourself and give yourself the opportunity to bask a little in all of the work that you've done over the past few months. Much love to you, and I'll see you next time. Blessings.